In the last lecture, you learned about pop-ups and opt-in forms, and in this lecture, I'm going to give you the fourth and final tip to grow your email list faster, and that is using a tool called LeadPages.net. Now, I want to start by saying that LeadPages is another paid tool. If we look at the pricing here, for a home business or solopreneur, it's going to cost about $25 per month. So is it worth it? That's the first question you're probably going to have. Personally, I think it is. If you're serious about growing your email list, if that's a big priority for you, you should definitely consider this, because LeadPages offers a huge amount of flexibility and many options to collect email addresses. That just makes it a little bit easier, especially if you're not really a technical person and you don't want to spend a lot of time coding, designing web pages, all of that type of stuff. So now let us look at some of the options. One of the key things that people use LeadPages for is actually to create landing pages. So for example, if you wanted to set up a webinar, if you wanted to set up a Facebook ad, a Google ad, and you wanted to send those people to a particular page to collect the email addresses from them in exchange for something else, then you can use these templates that LeadPages offer as the page that you're sending people to, as opposed to sending them to maybe your home page, where that's not really directly connected to the ad. You can actually send them to a specific page, and as a result, you're probably going to get many more email signups or free trials, or whatever your goal is really going to be. Now, what I'm going to use this for in particular is you can see that there's options here, not only for, say, a webinar or a Facebook ad, but actually for your home page. And you'll remember that I changed my home page to be more like an email sign up form, and you can see that they offer options for that as well. So that is one thing that you can use it for landing pages. The way that I'm going to use that is I found a template for my home page. You can see that these are extremely easy to edit. You can add in background images, take them out, add in titles, take them out. It's a lot easier to edit these pages and make them to your liking than, say, coding it, especially if you're not a technical person. Now, once you make these pages, there are a couple of things that you'll need to do. One is that you need to integrate your email provider. So you can see here that if I click on this button, a little box is going to pop up for people. I've got essentially a lead magnet for them there. And I have integrated this with my, here we go, my MailChimp account. So anybody who puts in their email address now is going to go on to my email list, which is fantastic. And you'll notice that here, the lead magnet, the bribe to subscribe, is essentially the same as I had it in the sidebar of my blog. But here it's really front and center, and they don't have to leave the page to really put in their email address, which is a big advantage because it makes the process a little bit more seamless. So the steps are really design your page, integrate it with your MailChimp or email provider account. And there's one other thing that you'll want to do is actually make sure that you're tracking the visits to this page in Google Analytics. So you'll see at the top here, no matter what template you're using for what reason, there's going to be lead page options, tracking codes here. And what you want to do is, these boxes are normally both blank, but what I've done is I've come into my Google Analytics account, come to admin, tracking info, tracking code, and I've copied and pasted this into the second box here. You can put them in either, but the page might load a little bit faster if you've got it in the second box at the end of the page, essentially. So those are the integrations that you'll need to do, MailChimp and Google Analytics, because you want to make sure that you're tracking that properly. And then how do you get this onto your website? Well, once you've got it all designed as you want, you can come and press publish. And there's a number of different options. You can just take that code, and maybe if you have, say, a Facebook ad, you just direct people straight to this page. Or else, if you're using a WordPress site like me, you download this as a plugin, and it's essentially the same process as we've looked at before for downloading plugins, and then you just connect it with your LeadPages account, select the page and really where you want it on your website. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this landing page on the front page of my website so that it's very clear what people should be doing when they arrive. They should be clicking on this box, and you can see now that I've got this set up. So this is my domain. This is what my landing page looks like. There's no links to any other pages on my website. It's just focused on this. Down the very end of the page now they can come into the blog if they want, etc. But I'm trying to get people onto the mailing list, so that's one advantage of using LeadPages. Now, a second way to use LeadPages, which can help you build your email list faster, is to use what's called a lead box. Now, I haven't set one up yet, but I'm going to go to my personal website to really give you an example of this. So here I've got an article, and right down here you'll see that it says that there's a bonus PDF. Download 7 sample questions. So this is about the Google AdWords certification exam. So what is this essentially? This is a lead magnet, a bribe to subscribe that is specific to this article. So MailChimp is great because it gives you, say, a lead magnet that you can put across the whole site, so in the sidebar on the front page. But what this lead box does, it allows you to make a lead magnet specific to the article. And the reason that you want to do that is because more people are going to actually sign up. If they're coming to read this article on Google AdWords certification, they see they can get a bonus PDF specifically related to that, then there's a good chance that they're going to sign up. If they see get the first lesson free, they might go, well, I don't know what that first lesson is about, so I don't really want to sign up to it. But here it's much more connected, and you can see that if they click download the PDF, it pops up to get their email address, then they can get the PDF. And once again, you integrate that in the same way to your MailChimp account. Now, the best thing about this is the results. So you can see for this Google AdWords certification, the conversion rate is 58%. So out of 100 people, 58 people will actually click that box and put in their email address. And if you know anything about the metrics for the conversion rates for email sign-up forms, that is extremely high. Now, the traffic that I'm sending to this page is quite targeted to start with, but I think it really does help that this is front and center, and that I can give a lead magnet specific to the article. So a lot of people are using this. It's very, very effective, and I think it's much harder. I wouldn't even know how to do this without LeadPages. So to recap, I think there are two main ways that I'm going to use LeadPages that you can use on this kind of basic account that you should perhaps consider. One is for your homepage, for a webinar, for a Facebook ad or a Google ad. If you want to make a page that is specific to your liking, that you can edit easily without needing to get into technical, you can use LeadPages for that to get a landing page. Essentially, the processes are always going to be the same. You want to integrate it with your MailChimp account, as we've seen here. You'll also want to integrate that with Google Analytics, put your tracking code in there, and then you'll want to put it onto your website. So the process is going to be whichever option you want. If you want to put it on a WordPress site, you just download the plugin and install that, connect it up, and it's pretty simple. Now, the other main way that's pretty exciting because the results are so fantastic is to use it like the lead box, to have a lead magnet specific to one page on your website. That can be an article. It could even be, say, if you have a toolbox page, people can download the PDF for the toolbox. And there's probably a much higher chance that people are going to do that if they're already on the page, as opposed to one lead magnet that is across the site. All right, so that wraps up the kind of quick overview of LeadPages. I hope at the very least this has given you a bit of an understanding about how you can use it to grow your email list faster. And revealed some of the reasons why so many people are talking about this tool. So that is essentially it for the bonus tips. In the next lecture, I'm just going to show you quickly how to create a campaign to send out to your email list.